On this episode of GoodEnough Motorsport, spring is in the air.
It's July, dumbass!
He's not wrong. So if this episode's production seems a bit rushed, well, that's pretty much because it was. I was installing the coilovers on a Sunday, as was originally planned, but on the eve of the day, I was informed last minute that plans were changing. So I really had to crunch to get them in as soon as possible, because the following Monday, I already had an appointment made for adjustments and alignment. So big thanks to Brandon once again for helping me out. And these went in easily, but boy did it look fucky afterwards. So coilovers are now installed but just not adjusted, which explains the monster truck height. But I started at around 10 a.m. It is now noon, and everything is now in. And Brennan here helped me out a lot, mostly with the rear coilovers.
So it is now the day after the coilover installation, and I'm now on my way over to Perfect Tuning to get this thing aligned, ride height set. No more monster truck, please. And Quentin has talked to me about doing a corner weight process. I don't know the exact term, but pretty much you put the car on four scales and you distribute the weight as evenly as possible. So how can I pass that up? So hopefully that all goes according to plan. No hiccups, bullshit, and nothing breaks.
So here we are the following day, and as you can already see right up the bat, the camera is doing some fucky shit. I don't know why it's doing that, but I went with it considering we only had one shot. It's kind of difficult to reset everything in a garage when the guys have work to do and work needs to get done. So I just went ahead, not knowing the camera would do that, and we just proceed to adjust the height and align the car. It took a bit of time, of course, as adjustments do, but we got it to an adequate level pretty easily. Again, it's not a difficult task, just a lengthy and tedious one.
much of a difference. But that some bitch is looking minty fresh. And I do love the OEM Plus slightly lowered look. So now that this is done, we move on to alignment. So it is now the day after the adjustment, alignment. We didn't get to do corner weight, as I probably previously mentioned in the voiceover. But, well, what's done is done. And, well, the car feels much stiffer, as it should, but almost to a fault. I heard a tiny bit of the exhaust. I heard a tiny bit of the exhaust rub there on the sidewalk. Lowered car problems, you know. But yeah, it feels bouncy as it should. The coil springs haven't fully settled in yet, so over time they're gonna soften up a bit, making the car even lower, making the ride hopefully a bit smoother. There is tire rubbing, like no mistake about it. We did decide to go pretty low, like not full-on slammed, but there's very little leeway between the tire and the fenders, especially for the corner panels. This is tight. Looks good though, but yeah, I am going to have to roll the fenders. There's no way around it. So those are my first impressions. They're not bad, but I'm gonna have to get used to it. Well, I've now rolled the fenders. It's been about, I want to say a week or two, and the way I had to do it is not simply roll the fenders with the fender rolling tool. The height was actually just too low, so the roll could not reach the edge of the lip. I had to undo it and use the wheel as a hammer to smash the thing in. So this is not the best roll job, but it will do. It will suffice for now. Yeah, rubbing is still a bit of a concern at some point, but too bad. I would say that 95% of the rubbing is gone, but on the big bumps you still hear it. This is now the overall stance of it. So I shall now demonstrate a bit of a test drive with the Coilovers, riding for about 2 weeks on a small back roads. I didn't want something too nice, too smooth. I wanted something that would put them to the test, and I have driven this road before. So I do know for a fact that the exhaust rubs some places. I'm not hoping it did it. It just did it. I'm not hoping for that, but I'm aware it can. the coilovers with the pulley bushing and the sport tires. Not too bad. Like, not only can this be a good daily, it is my daily. And like the biggest grievance I have with it at the moment is the lack of power steering. Caused by myself, I ruined it like an idiot. I wanted to get rid of parasitic drag. Yes, I'm sure I would feel that very, very small amount of power I'm losing. Man, this makes for a good daily. Bit stiff, bit harsh, sure, but tolerable. At least for me. And who else it may or may not be tolerable for? That's another topic entirely. All in all, I am happy with my purchase. I do wish the front coilover sleeves had the proper style of brake line brackets, because those have to be. I thought I was gonna need something custom made, but I went to a fab shop and they just cut it and relocated it where it was more appropriate. But to have to do that on a 2,000 Canadian dollar set of coilovers, shouldn't have to do that. Fortunato, you make real good products, but on the AE92 coilover set, I'm sorry to have to say, you guys fell short on that. But it's good shit. No one mistake about it. Well, that's said and done. The car is finally probably comfortable to ride. It handles well, so well. The car is comfortable, it handles, and the ride height is proper, all that good stuff. It's not tested, tried and true, and I'm happy with it. Although, contrary to popular belief, a real project like that doesn't happen like it does now. Get my ride used to, or overhauling, or any kind of shit like that. It takes time, a lot of time. You gotta get used to it, you gotta properly analyze it, and really decide which one is the proper setup for you. Everything is still a work in progress. Most of that is this car. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time.